Hello, hello. Welcome back to Math Made Possible. I believe I can. I'm your current teacher, Ms. Howard, and today we're going to be using the fifth grade illustrative math curriculum to review Unit 3, Lesson 1, and this is going to be a summary of the lesson. Today we're going to be solving problems about unit fractions. All right, so here we have a pan of mac and cheese. This is not my pan of mac and cheese. I just want to make it clear. My mac and cheese is cheesier, but this is a full pan of mac and cheese that I want to make sure that everybody understands that whenever you're making something delicious like mac and cheese, you always start with a full pan of mac and cheese. Okay? Now, we're going to move from the concept of a full pan of mac and cheese to a lesson that is going to be talking about a portion of the mac and cheese. Now, keep in mind, whenever you are eating mac and cheese, you're going to slice up your mac and cheese so that you can share it for your family members, right? So you, depending on how big you want your slices, you could slice it up like this. You could slice it up like this. Any way you see fit in order to make sure the amount of people that is going to be served the mac and cheese will have an equal portion is what you will cut it into, right? Now, some people don't actually cut up their mac and cheese. People just, take a scoop from there or take a big portion here. That's not what we're talking about today, right? I know some of you love mac and cheese. However, I want to keep it simple with the lesson and go through with a portion of mac and cheese. So here again, you're starting with the mindset that whenever you are making mac and cheese, you are baking a full pan of mac and cheese. So when we do this, everything from the pan is going to be portioned. It's going to be cut into pieces. All right. So now let's look at our first slide here. All right. So let's just say, let's give a story. So Miss Howard is visiting her family and half of the pan of mac and cheese is left. Miss Howard would like to eat some mac and cheese. So I am going to cut the a third of the mac and cheese. So let's begin by writing out Miss Howard. Let me label my portion. Miss Howard is going to take this piece right here. Boom. Now, I partition this into thirds. That's how much I want, 1/3 of it, right? However, here's what we need to consider. Let me actually write it down here. 1/3. I am going to be taking 1/3 of, what did I start with? Well, I know that the whole pan was there. It was originally baked as one full pan. However, I started with 1/2. That's what was remaining. I have to take a portion of that 1/2. So I'm taking a piece of a piece or a part of a part. Now, the question is, how much would be my serving? Well, in order to know my exact answer, what I would do is partition the rest of the pan. Remember, going back to what we talked about before, when you originally serve or you have your pan of macaroni and cheese, you cut it up. You cut the whole pan. Now, I'm going to take my third, right? Right here. But what is the fraction of the full pan? Well, it'd be 1 times 1, which is 1 piece, which you can see right here. And this would be partitioned. Let's go ahead and continue to draw a line. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you could see here, 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay? You have to make these equal portions. Okay? So it would be, you can't, let me erase it and show you another. You cannot make it look like this. One third. So if you're saying this is one and this is a piece right here for one and this is another third, no, that's not an equal portion. So that is what we have to make sure that when we're partitioning, all of the pieces have to be the same amount. Okay? Next. Now let's partition it another way. Let's say I want to partition it vertically. 1, I like the blue better. I could see it better. I can also partition it this way and make it a third. But I have to remember that if I'm making it vertically that way and I have 2 lines, in order to make this accurate, I'm going to partition here and here. So I have 3 pieces here and I have 3 pieces here. That would be a total of 6. Let me go ahead and label. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, that would be 1/3 of or times 1/2. We're taking a piece or a third of a piece, which is 1/2 of that whole pan, which was originally partitioned into 6. Okay? I wanted to make sure that was clear for everyone because you're getting ready to take an exit ticket on your cool down. They want to see that you understand how to partition, and you need to acknowledge that whenever you're doing this, you're taking a part of a part. So let's use this piece right here. Let's say Sarah. Let me go ahead and write hold on. Let's see if I can. What would this look like? What does that mean? Nope, that doesn't help me. I was hoping that it would cover that up for me, but it doesn't. So let's forget about that space right there. And let's pretend that I am writing a new story up here, right? Let's say Sarah. Now let's choose one of the students' name. Callie is eating 1/4, 1/4 of the half pan of mac and cheese. How much does she eat? All right, so let's draw that out. So first we're going to draw our rectangle right below it. Okay. And this time I'm going to partition my rectangle this way and make my half a pan look like this. Let me go ahead and get my mac and cheese. I want to show you all something as well. You can use this strategy that I'm getting ready to show you in the classroom or at home. So there's my mac and cheese, right? Now it says Callie is eating 1/4 of that. So I'm going to partition this into fourths. Okay. Now this is Callie right here. Let me go ahead and change the color. This is the portion Callie eats. Okay. So now let's go ahead and write our expression. Again, Callie is going to get 1/4 of 1/2, which is what is remaining. So a piece of a piece. So in order to find out the total number, well, all I would do is continue to partition. Remember, even though there's nothing here, it was originally cut, and you have to cut it into equal portions, equal pieces. All right. This one looks a little weird. Let's fix that one. Okay. So now you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you know that 4 times 2 equals 8. And Callie gets 1 piece of that. Right? Let's do one more. All right, let me go ahead and choose another student really fast because my time is ticking on this video. All right, let's choose Mahari. Mahari eats 1/6 of 1/2 pan. All right, let's see what that would be. So I'm going to draw my pan of mac and cheese. Again, I'm going to draw a rectangle, and 1/2 is left. So let's go ahead and highlight the half. Now, it says he's getting 1/6 of that. So let's go ahead and partition a sixth. And I'll partition it this way and this way. And Mahari will get 1/6 of that. Okay. And our fraction would be 1/6 of 1/2. And when we multiply that straight across, that would be 1 times 1 equals 1. And 6 times 2 equals 12. Well, how do we get 12 again? Again, whatever we do, if half of the pan is partitioned into 6, then the other portion is also partitioned into 6. And we have equal portions. And you should see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 pieces. All right, 12 total pieces out the whole pan. only half of a pan is left over.